You can wear that with skinny jeans, can't you?
Yeah.
Do you?
I have not, but you're right. I need to.
Yeah.
I just wear shorts right now.
And that's okay, except you can't see the shorts, so you look like you're wearing a short dress.
Right. Right.
But it's not really a short dress. That's my grandpa. This is Frank Williams on the left.
That's
Does that look like my dad? It does look like my dad. I bet it is my dad.
These two.
He always, you know who he looked like? Do you remember the movie star Randolph Scott? You don't. Well, he looked like Randolph Scott. My dad was born in New Mexico when it was still a territory. They were Southern boys. This is my mom's parents, John and Laura Clifton. And they were better off financially than my dad's parents were. They had a place. They got their place in Oklahoma when they had the land rush. This is my mom back in Burke-Burnett, Texas.
Wow. Vivian.
Yeah,
What was your mom's maiden name?
Clifton.
Vivian Clifton. And they met through their pen pals in the war?
Yeah. My mom's school teacher was a cousin of my dad's.
Oh.
And she gave my mom his address in the Army. So they started writing back and forth while he was in the service. And he used to send her postcards all the time. And she wrote to him pretty consistently. And he asked her to marry him before they even met.
Oh.
And Mom said, I don't know you. I haven't met you yet. So the minute he got out of the service, he came knocking on the door. And they got to know each other. And what do you know? They got married.
That's
Very romantic. Okay, this is me. My two best friends, Emmeline and Barbara. See, it was Darlene, Emmeline, and Barbara. So we always sat like that because it was D-E-B. We called ourselves the Debs for D-E-B, Darlene, Emmeline, and Barbara. I was the cheerleader. I was in the junior play and the senior play. I edited the annual. And I was on the drill team. And I debated a few times.
Grandma.
Went to Beverly Hills once for it wasn't really a debate when we went there. I did a declamation. That's sort of a monologue, a dramatic monologue, you know. First time I was ever in Beverly Hills. That was my squad dress that I bought in Arizona. And I loved that dress. I wore it out. Actually wore it out. I wore it so much. It had a nice full flouncy skirt, you know, very comfortable.
Oh, you're such a pretty girl, Grandma.
That was my squad dress. Yeah, I think those are both Arizona.
Is that why you always buy all?
Yeah, it is,
I
yeah.
didn't know. He kind of looks like George Clooney in this picture.
Oh, he would love that. Oh, this is Westwood, right? Yeah, that's where your grandpa and I met. Only at that time it was called Crumplers. It's right across the street from the Bruin Theater and the Westwood Theater, and up the street is UCLA. I could walk out of the Crumplers and stand there on the sidewalk, and they had, you know, the big limousines would come up and all the movie stars would come right there and up the red carpet into the premiere. I saw lots and lots of movie stars there for the premieres there in Westwood. Yeah, that was fun.
And you were a waitress.
Yeah.
And he
right
was a
down this
student.
street in a building right there, he worked in a little men's shop selling men's clothing. It was what they called a haberdashery. He used to come over there for his meals every once in a while when he was working across the street. So he came and sat in my section, and I took his order, and he ordered scrambled eggs easy. And when I served him, he said, "They really are easy." And I said, "Well, that's what you ordered." And he said, "Well, they don't always come that way." So we got to talking, and right behind the last seat where he was sitting, there was a jukebox. And I put the money in and started playing Frankie Lane. And so we started talking about music. And he said, "Have you ever been to a concert?" And I said, "No." So he said, "Well, I'll make a deal with you. I'll take you to see Frankie Lane if you'll go with me to the Greek Theater and see an operetta." So I finally said, okay. And that was what we did. And
Finally, as in 5 minutes later, finally? Or
yeah, like
2
that.
days later?
No,
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Just like it, that's fine.
So that was our first date when we went to see Frankie Lane in a little nightclub in Hollywood. We used to go to Ciro's once in a while.
Where's that?
It used to be a real big nightclub on Sunset Strip in Hollywood.
Oh.
there were two there close together, Ciro's and Macombo, and they were real popular with everybody around there. But it was kind of expensive for us. We didn't have very much money. So we'd go in and sit at the bar, which when you first went in the door, the bar was right over here and all the dining room area was right over here. And in those days, you had the dining area, the big dance floor, and usually an orchestra down at the other end. And so if you sat at the bar, you could really look over the dining area and see who was playing. And we saw Peggy Lee, we saw Lena Horne, we saw a lot of big stars that were, just playing at those little venues. And on the way home, he had a really good singing voice. He would sing all the songs all the way home. So it was fun.
You are now about to hear a very fine recording of You Are My Sunshine by Bill and Darlene. You ready? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the clouds are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
When did you meet and when did you get married? Give me a time frame.
We met in June of 47.
Okay.
And so we were going to get married after he graduated, and he was supposed to graduate in the middle of the year, at the end of January, 1st of February.
48 or
48? In 48.
Okay, so that's like less than a year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so,
And how did that happen? Like, when did you guys decide, like, you guys wanted
well,
to
we
get
got
married?
engaged within a few months.
Really? Was that common back then?
Maybe so, yeah.
Okay.
And we wanted to go to Las Vegas. Bill had been married before, and my family didn't have very much money. And so we knew we were going to go to Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Did your mom ever regret that? Did she ever wish you had a wedding?
she said, thank goodness she got married. She always liked Bill.
Oh, okay.
So we went to Las Vegas, and we got there without thinking about it. It happened to be Easter Sunday. And we thought, oh my gosh, will we be able to get a license? We'll be able to get married? It's Sunday, Easter Sunday, No problem. I got the license. Went up and knocked on a justice of the peace's door. And at the same time we went up, there was this couple on motorcycles that came up right behind us. So the justice of the peace, still chewing and wiping his mouth with a napkin, came out of the dining area, starts opening the book to do the thing. Bill's laughing his head off. And the motorcycle kid stood up for us, and then we waited while they got married, and we stood up for them.
Aww.
And then we went back to the hotel, and we were married, and that's when those pictures were taken that you see, like that one above the mantel. We had a camera that had a timer on it, and he set the camera up, and we sat on the bed and took our picture. We wanted a picture of on our wedding day.
Aww.
That was our picture. And we figured we'd stay 2 or 3 days. And we had money for food, coming home, like a hamburger, something like that, and gas money. So he liked to play the horses. He would go in the afternoon and play the horses, lose. He'd come back at nighttime into the casino and play craps, and he was very good at playing craps. So he always won more money playing craps. He'd come back to the room, we'd put another $8 under the mattress, because that meant another night at the hotel.
Yeah.
No, I think we put $10 in. That would cover the room and food.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'd take whatever's left and go out the next day, and you'd play the races, lose some, play the craps that night, and win some more.
Aww.
I think on about the 4th or 5th day, we were down to just enough money to pay the bill and go home. And he had, I think, a dime left. And as we were walking out, he put the dime in a slot machine. A couple bucks came out. We went over and played the craps some more, and we were there for a couple more days.
Oh my gosh.
Really, we had a good time.